I'm WAAY 31 Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna. It's a project over 2 years in the making. The WAAY 31 StormTracker Early Warning Radar Network. 3 Doppler radars across North Alabama comprise what is now the largest private radar network in the country. These radars are networked together to provide a complete picture and fill in the gaps between other radar sites. WAAY 31 worked closely with EEC, an Enterprise Alabama company that makes Doppler radars. They're one of the world's largest manufacturers with radar installations in more than 900 countries worldwide. Both of us, WAAY 31 and EEC, did extensive research to get the exact placement of these 3 radars in such a fashion that everyone is covered, everyone is safe. No location across North Alabama goes without high quality, high resolution, minute by minute radar data. So first and foremost, we needed to ensure coverage across all of North Alabama. We wanted to make sure that the folks in Waterloo and Lauderdale County and the folks in southernmost Marshall County down toward Boaz were getting the best radar data possible and not being left out. So we needed to make sure that our radar beams were going to reach those outlying areas and cover our centermost locations. Speaking of the centermost location, a central location while including our west and east borders. We wanted to see those storms coming in to make sure that we've got our eyes on those storms to get you the earliest warning possible, greatest lead time, and at the same time cover those centralized locations where we have a high number of people living there, and also monitor the storms that are ongoing or may be developing right in the center of North Alabama. Even spatial distribution, but still near population centers. Can't put 3 radars right next to each other and leave one portion of North Alabama totally uncovered. We need to place these evenly across the landscape and at the same time get even quality radar data across the landscape. Population centers, that's also important to consider because we needed the infrastructure for these radars. We need to be able to get internet to these to send and receive radar data, and we also needed power to help us do that. Higher populated areas typically have better infrastructure to do just that. We also needed minimal radar beam blockage. What does that mean? We'll pick up on that in just a second because that's a really important concept when it comes to the exact placement of these radars. First here we have the Muscle Shoals radar. This is one of those radars that's able to see those storms coming out of northeast Mississippi, out of west Tennessee, and give us a really good idea of what's coming into North Alabama. Our centrally located radar is our radar site indicator. This covers the heart of North Alabama, the highest populated area, and at the same time we also have our radar in Gunnersville. This is helping cover the areas where it's maybe difficult to see just based on terrain. We wanted to make sure that the folks in Jackson, DeKalb, and Marshall counties had really good radar data to keep them safe as well. And when you see them all placed on a map, as I was mentioning, there is not one location across North Alabama going without that high quality radar data. 90 miles from the north to the south, about 150 miles from the west to the east. Optimal radar placement. Speaking about beam blockage, this is how you kind of hone in a town or in a city to know exactly where you need to place that radar. You can't put these right next to a building because that radar beam is going to be blocked. So when that radar beam looks like this, you avoid radar beam blockage. That placement allows for a clear view across the landscape. But if you put this next to a building, you put this next to a mountain, buildings, mountains, trees, and other obstructions can block the radar beam's path, preventing that complete picture. So optimal placement. Both radars in Muscle Shoals and Gunnersville are on water towers to help kind of elevate them a little bit and see across the landscape. The radar indicator is actually on the People's Bank building downtown. All of them, all 3, are unobstructed by other structures or terrain, providing complete coverage for all of North Alabama.